Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I want to talk about a recent mentor that I discovered and that I'm currently learning from. I want to give his latest book release review alongside with one of his programs that I also enrolled in. And you may be wondering, if you are new to my YouTube channel, who am I? Okay, my name is Gary Lim and I'm a 20 years old e-commerce entrepreneur from Singapore. At least that's how I see myself. Okay, I started and failed many businesses, not many, in fact I just failed the first 3 businesses for the first year of being in business. And to be honest, I wouldn't really have considered those businesses, and it wasn't until I started my 4th Shopify dropshipping business where I eventually succeeded, generated multiple 7 figures in sales online, having traveled the world, meeting like so many people, really meeting amazing people, CEOs, entrepreneurs, all the way to just random people on the streets. Having done all of that, I now make YouTube videos on helping entrepreneurs, mainly e-commerce entrepreneurs who are in the drop, who wanna start drop shipping, wanna learn more about e-commerce, wanna improve their life, their mindset. I make those kind of videos, so if you're interested, you can just go to my YouTube channel and check those out. And I want to talk a little bit about Ryan himself. Who is Ryan, and how I found out him, why I buy his course, and just give a breakdown of what I actually learned, which I think is gonna be the most valuable info in this video for you guys. Sharing with you guys what I learned throughout the past couple months from learning throughout learning from him, and I think it's really gonna be very, very valuable. Okay, so to me, Ryan is really like a mentor. It's really like a kind of like a role model, I really see him that way, and I feel like he really taught me a lot in terms of e-commerce, in terms of mindset, and his values really resonates with me. In terms of achievement wise, which is what I'm truly interested in, I believe he built a e-commerce business and sold for $10 million, alongside with many other e-commerce companies that he may currently be involved with. I'm not too quite sure, but all I know is he knows his shit. Sold a company for over $10 million and is running multiple businesses. Okay, that's all I know about him, and I think it's pretty damn impressive. So I was reaching a point in my life where I got some financial independence from my own dropshipping business. I know how to generate cash flow online, but I still didn't feel extremely fulfilled in my life, in my business. I felt like something was lacking, and I wanted something more in my life. That's like the main part. I wanted to build something bigger than myself, something that I can sell for millions of dollars, that I know while building a company is also generating a massive positive impact on the world. That's like kind of like my goal, right? Building a business with a value, with like something that I'm passionate about, alongside with selling products that I know personally I would buy. So that's kind of like my goal when I first started out. And around 3 to 4 months ago, I was really learning about branding, and then I came upon Ryan because I was listening to his podcast. And for me, I always try to grow and improve myself, so I listened to his podcast. Eventually just really fell in love with his character, with his personality, right? And then I just went through scrolling on his website. I saw his program, so I was like, oh, why not? It's just like $300 or something, so I just paid for it. And then I went through his entire course, and right now I'm actually in the works of building my first product prototype for this new e-commerce brand I'm gonna launch, and I'm super duper excited for it. Moving on and going into what I actually learned from him, which is what I wanna be the main focus on this video. Okay, the first thing I learned from him that I think many people in the business industry, the dropshipping industry, heavily lack, which is having a CEO mindset as compared to having a hustler mentality. So many of us, we have this hustler mentality. We wanna get the best website design, we wanna work on things, we wanna produce things, but we don't really think in terms of the macro. We are really focused on the day-to-day in and out operations of the business, but we don't really see things from the long-term perspective, from how things actually happen. And with Ryan, going through his content, that's one thing that I really ingrained, is to look at things from the macro, go all the way from starting a business all the way to selling it, how businesses are built, how businesses are being sold for millions of dollars, everything on the macro, alongside with like small details along the way. And that's one thing that I really learned and I love about his program and his new book. And also one thing that I feel like is extremely important, I feel like I need to share in terms of what I learned and what he taught me in the book, is showing the framework for how successful business are built. When we think about a successful brand, there's so much confusion around it, at least for me, in my opinion. When I actually first got around into trying to learn about brand, I was really so confused. I was just like trying to look at the information, and there was so many information online, and I didn't really understand what a brand meant. But having gone through this course, I can say confidently that right now I kind of have a sense of what it is, and also in the works of building one myself, in terms of like a actual legit brand that is providing a good customer experience. And building a brand and building a long-term e-commerce business, it all really comes down to three things. Number one, knowing who you're selling to, knowing the kind of people that you're actually serving in your business. Number two, having solutions to solve the problems that they have. Solutions in terms of physical products that you are probably gonna be bringing to the marketplace. And number three, having a platform where you are consistently collecting sales. Whether it's on Amazon, whether it's on Shopify, whether it's a Kickstarter. And these are the three fundamental things that I kind of like took from his book, and also just from my own personal experience. And obviously there are many other factors as well, but these are the first three things that really comes off the top of my head, and things that I wrote down that I wanted to share with you guys. And also so many people, when they are starting their business, they have the wrong focus in mind. They are always thinking from a perspective of themselves. How can I have the best website design? How can I have the best marketing strategy? How can I find the best product to sell? These are often questions that we tend to consciously or unconsciously ask, when we are thinking alone, but we fail to look at things from an audience perspective, which is perhaps the most important driving factor as to whether or not you're gonna succeed, right? A real successful business owner, someone who is building a really solid brand, they look at who their audience is, what they actually want, and they see things based on their perspective, which means really understanding the kind of people that you're targeting, the kind of people you're selling to, their problems, their desires, and basing your company off solving and serving them. These are things that people are not really invested in. Nowadays, people, they are really focused on, okay, is the add to cart button green or blue color better? How can I have the best copy in my product page? And of course, these are all important as well, but they are all concerning around the wrong question. They are all concerning around what you think is best for you, for your business, not what is actually the best for your business. And what is actually the best for a business is actually communicating with your audience, finding out what they want, and then everything else, the product, the solutions, the copywriting, the marketing, is gonna fall in hand, perfectly. Because when you speak with who you're selling to, then you will know what you need to actually sell to them. Otherwise, everything you're coming up with in your head is just nothing but just yourself, your self projections, which may not even be true, unfortunately, which is most of the case, which is why so many people don't succeed when they start out. Okay, and I'm actually very guilty of that. And I want to share with you guys a personal example of how I actually kind of fucked myself over, because I was caring more about my opinions rather than the marketplace opinions. And this is something that I feel the book really ingrained, really like teaches you to think things from the market's perspective rather than your own perspective. When I first started my brand around 3 months ago, which is something that I haven't shared yet in this video, I was very excited. Of course, I was extremely keen. I went through his content, I went through his material. Eventually, I decided to go with a niche, and then I found a product. And I made this mistake of trying to get the current product prototype to be sort of like perfect, without actually figuring out what is it that my audience want. So I have it over here actually, it's a adjustable laptop stand. I'm in the works of building a productivity company, and I was trying to make adjustments to this laptop stand, trying to get the best laptop stand, trying to find different samples for it. And guess what? Eventually, I came to this conclusion that, wait a second, I don't even know whether or not my customers want this exact laptop stand design. I don't even know whether this exact prototype is what they want, because this laptop stand may have some features that my customers may not like. So I ended up asking my customers instead, communicating with my audience, communicating with people who may be potential buyers of this laptop stand. And what I found out is what I thought they want is very different from what they actually want. And so many of us will make this mistake, which is why we don't succeed, which is why we don't actually build a long-term business that have returning customers. We fail to address what the market truly desire. We just project our own desires based on what we think they might like, but that may not be the truth. And that's one thing that I really took away from this book. And another thing that I want to put out there that I also learned from him is the foundation of what's required to grow $1 million business within just 12 months. When we think about the idea of building $1 million business, you're probably gonna have very crazy fantasies of you being on a beach, laying down, sipping on Corona beer, and chilling and enjoying the nice weather and having really bizarre systems in your business. But what $1 million business really is nothing more than just having 3 to 5 products selling at $30 each at around 25 units a day. When you break it down so simply, and Ryan did a very good job of breaking it down that way, you realize that it's actually not as hard as it seems. It's actually not as tedious as it seems. And that's one thing that I really love about the book is how inspired I feel after reading everything. Because the more I read, the more inspired and the more I feel like it was possible because of how simple he made the process to be. And I think the most value, the thing that I really got from this book is being able to see things from his perspective. Because whenever we are starting our own business, we tend to get very stuck into our own ideas, into our own belief systems. But whenever you have this perspective of someone who's already done that, been there, who's already on the other side of the fence, explaining to you how things actually are, how things work in business, you start to realize that, wow, maybe the focus that I have right now is wrong. You start to doubt yourself a little bit, and this doubt that you have in yourself is good, because it's the doubt in the negative beliefs that is holding you back that is actually eventually gonna move you forward in your life. And then you start to see things more from a CEO perspective, and you start to realize that you have been operating more like a hustler, rather than actually an actual entrepreneur. One thing that I really learned from him, going from kind of like a grinding entrepreneur to more about thinking more in terms of the macro. What am I actually trying to do here? What's the vision for my company? Where am I actually trying to go with this? It's really quite a huge mindset shift for me, and I think this is what his programs has done for me. Really laid out the foundation for what is possible, showed you how you do it, and I think that's the most value that I probably got from the book. All in all, I'm gonna kind of run down what I think about his program in general, because if you may be interested in buying program, this is my honest opinion. All in all, I'll give his programs and his latest book and everything a 9 out of 10. And before you think, hey, wait, where did the 1 point lose? Firstly, I do not really give perfect reviews to things unless it's like 5 star, because for 5 star, I just feel obligated to give people 5 star if 4 or 5 stars is the only option. But if I'm giving a rating out of 10, I think 9 out of 10 is an extremely good score. I think it's probably the best program that I got in this year. And it's the best book I've read this year actually, in terms of e-commerce and strategy wise, the best freaking book. But one thing that I feel is lacking is perhaps like the micro details of like how to set up like your Amazon account, or like stupid shit like this, which you could probably find online. But anyway, I for some reason I just don't like to give perfect reviews, but this is just my opinion. And if you are interested in his content, I definitely highly recommend you to watch his videos, free videos if you like to. Go through his podcast, because I actually learn a lot and I feel obligated to share things that have really helped me in my journey. And I'll leave a link down below, if you're interested to learn from him, you could perhaps go to the link and go and learn from him. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button. And if you think this video brought some value to you, although it seemed to be kind of like a review, but I also shared things that I learned from the book and things that I learned from my own e-commerce journey in general. If you think this video is awesome, hit a like so I know that it's a good video, and let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section box below as well, because to be honest, it's my first time making this kind of video, so it got a little bit awkward in the beginning, and the flow of sentences didn't really come natural for me, because I'm still trying to like organize things in my head as to what to say, because it's like my first time making this kind of videos. But anyway, if you like it, let me know what you thought below, and if you don't like it, let me know why you didn't like it as well, so I can make better quality content for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.